What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Anyway, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 5-3. Man, back again. Story time, yeah. Yeah. Do me a favor, man. Y'all hit that like, hit that comment, and hit that subscribe button, man. Especially that subscribe button. Got them out the way. Anyway, moving right along. Oh, man. This here is about true riders. True riders. Now, when I say true riders, I'm speaking on the riders, the dudes, the individuals who was gonna act a fool by any means necessary under any type circumstances. It didn't make them no difference. Now I'm speaking on homies that was in prison with me. Now I'm speaking on specifically back when I was in California prison. Homies that was gonna act a fool on call. It during my time in California prison, before them last few years before I got out, man, I ran across some real live head busters. Some head busters. Man, look, anybody that was doing time in the Cali prison system that got them C numbers or either the early D number, I'm gonna say from the early D numbers on to the C and B numbers. Those were some real live head busters coming into the system back then. Was there some busters in the system? Yeah, of course. It's gonna always be, somebody that's faking the phone. But per capita, it wasn't many. The homies that was coming to prison back during them C numbers and early D numbers, they was about their business, homie. They was the cream of the crop. The majority of them dudes that was coming to prison doing time back then are the big names. They are the big name homies in whatever set they was from. They was the big name homies because they was up in there doing it. It had to be done. Wasn't no getting around it. Wasn't no none of that. Either you was gonna barbecue or mildew, homie. You know what I'm saying? And going to prison. Now, it seemed like it's shaking because the wind is blowing. But anyway, going to prison back then, man, during that time, you was gonna have to perform, but you was gonna be trained and taught to perform. Coming in the system then, it was a lot of rules and regulations, man. As we say, the game, politics. You could call it the game or the politics. You know what I'm saying? You gonna play the game, homie. You gonna be part of the politics one way, by hook or by crook, one way or another. You was gonna be part of the California prison politics, or you was gonna sit off in the corner and let your eyes roll back your head and blow spit bubbles up against the wall like you was crazy or something. But yeah, other than that, yeah, you was gonna be part of it, man. And if you came from the streets and you had that warrior spirit, that warrior mentality, when you got in there, it was gonna be enhanced because you was gonna be given opportunities and put in positions to go cuckoo for cocoa puffs, man. And that's sort of like what happened with me. I had got to the point to where I was in jail so much that this is how I would rationalize it. I would say, well, we got the homies on the street, they staying down for the set, doing what need to be done out there in the set. I say I'm just in prison, staying down for the set. I got homies on the set making Fire Travelon look good, but you got me in prison making Fire Travelon look good because everywhere I went, it looked good. You wasn't gonna be hollering you from Avalon and be on the yard with me and be doing some old punk buster mess. I was coming to see you. You had to go. You know what I'm saying? You had to go. Cause man, you could ask anybody that did time with me, when you mention my name, they're gonna be like, what cartoon? From Avalon? Man, he's a fool. Man, he's a fool. Anybody did time with me, man, during them through the 80s in prison, they gonna tell you, man, I was a fool. I was with it, a frontline soldier. When it came time to volunteer to do something, I was raising my hand first. The homies that was in higher positions than me, they used to just shake their head and be like, man, what the heck we gonna do with Toon, man? Toon a fool. They used to have to watch me every day. I'm like, cuz, what's up, man? What's up? What's up, man? What's up? I'm ready to do something. You know, any prison I went to, they'll tell you. When I did my 10 days on CTQ on Fish Road, man, listen, I'm shooting kites out to the pop to main line, and I'm asking homies, cuz, what's up? What's up? Who we beefing with? You know what I'm saying? That was my thing. I used to always be like, man, what's up with us, them Mexicans, man? And they would be like, if it wasn't no phone, they were like, ain't no phone jumping off, and ain't nothing. It's cool right now. I'm like, all right, cool. But now, if I got a bad report, they knew if I got a man, hey man, it's finna be what? Man, I'm coming to the main line tripping. Yeah, I'm coming to the main line finna start something. I'm like, yeah, cuz any and everybody I could gather, hey, all y'all, cuz, hey, we finna do this, that. We finna take off. You know what I'm saying? Because man, that was my main focus when I was doing time in prison. You know what I'm saying? That was my main focus. Excuse me, y'all. But anyway, so yeah, man. I remember I was in the cell. I was in the cell with my homeboy, my G homie, dude named Ironhead. We was in, I just came out the shoe program in Pelican Bay, and they put me in a different cell, but I end up moving to the cell with the homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, cuz, move over here. So I'm like, cool, 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 cool. But now the thing is, the homie knew me as a youngster on the streets. He had never been on the yard with me. He had never done time with me in prison. He didn't know what he was getting himself into by moving me in the cell. You know what I'm saying? He had really put himself in a precarious position, because by the time I had moved in the cell with him, the homie had already been down like about 15 years. So, he got popped early in the game back in the 70s. But anyway, so I remember coming out the cell one day. Now, it was already rumblings and grumblings and stuff getting into it, so we would hear about it. So I would always tell him, I'm like, cuz, hey, man, I'm taking off, man. I'm finna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wham. And he'd be like, what you, man, just calm down, little homie. Calm down. Now, imagine somebody calling me little homie. But anyway, he was like, calm down, little homie, cuz, it's gonna be all right, man. Woo. I'm like, I know. I said, man, but wham, Man, one day, we came out the cell. Now, we had already got to the point to where he didn't want me to cell with him no more. I was young. I was too young. I was wild. You know what I'm saying? Youngsters gonna do young stuff. Young dudes gonna do young stuff. And then when they young and wild, they gonna do young, wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to sit down. We don't want to be still. We don't want to be quiet. We don't want to be told nothing. We don't want no type of restrictions and regulations put upon us, because we are wild as a tumbleweed, So anyway, the homie was getting fed up with me because, cuz he'd been down. He got his program. He'd want to go to sleep at a certain time. At this time, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a monkey bouncing off the walls. So here it is. We at it with the Mexicans, and we come out to cell one day. At this time, it was along the kind of lines where they would kind of keep us. We were separated. When they got yard, it was just them and the whites. Then we was getting yard. When we got yard, it was just us, and it was blacks and the others. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we come out the cell one day, hit the yard, and I'm walking the fence. Now, anybody who been in Pelican Bay, they know that on the B yard, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was on the B yard at this time. I've been on both yards, A and B. 1 and 2 block was gated off. You had a big gate. Then you had 3 and 4, a big gate. 5 and 6, a big gate. Then 7 and 8. You had 8 buildings on the yard, and they kept us separated from each other by big chain link fences. Now you could come to the fence and talk through the fence only to the person that was in the immediate yard yet next to yours. If you want to holler, you'd have to send a message or holler way over there to them. Man, anybody got time for that mess, man? But anyway, they kept the gates locked. It was pretty much secure, locked down. At that time, it was California's most secure prison. Man, we come out, I'm walking along the gate line. I don't know if I was walking with somebody or by myself. No. I was just right. I was walking with the homie. Me and Cubs was walking. And I seen him asking. At the window. At the window to the store, I think. What block he was from, I don't know. He had to been from 8 block over there where they let dudes out when they let you out the shoe program. you go to 8 block for like 90 days before they figure out where they gonna put you. They, test to see if you can get acclimated back to being in population. But now I seen him, and I stopped. Man, my eyes got this big. You know what I'm saying? And I tell the homie, I was like, "Oh, cuz." I say, look. He's like, "What's up?" So I, said what I said. I'm like, the fool over there at the window, cuz, at the store. I'm like, oh man, we got one. Because now listen, during this time it was supposed to be on site. You know what I'm saying? They seen us on site, or if we seen them on site. But now I believe it was more of an on site thing with us. The word had already been sent around the system. I mean, not the system, but sent around the yard. Cause you see one, you get one. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So boom, this is why the police was keeping us very, very separated at this time. So when I see him, I stop. I'm telling homie, I'm like, cuz, man, all we got to do is get through this gate. So now, getting through that gate at the time was not going to be no easy task, because this was the gate that you would come out when you was going to the store, or going to the infirmary, or going to church, or going classification or something like that. You get out on that main row right there. But you had to get through this gate. The police had to let you out. So it wasn't just going to be no easy, but you could, if you could pop that corn good enough, you could get out that gate and go crazy. But anyway, so I'm telling homie, I'm like, cuz, man, I'll get us out the gate, man. I can act like I'm sick, or act like this and that, cuz you got to take me to the infirmary or whatever, something, cuz we could do something. Man, we get this fool. So the homie wasn't, man, cuz, man, he was not with that mess. He was not, he wanted to go home. He was closer to going home than me at least. So he was like, man, too, cuz, man, nah, man, I ain't with all that, man. Leave that fool alone. I'm like, cuz, man, the word is, man, see one, get one. There we go, there go one. He was like, man, Tune, I'm not with that mess. Let that mess go, man. And whoop, 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 whoop. So he kept on walking. I'm like, I'm torn between walking with the big homie or handling my business. You know what I'm saying? I want to handle my business. I've tried to get through that gate. I couldn't get through that gate because I was solo dolo. So I don't get through the gate. That was one of the times, you know what I'm saying, just doing something. And this is the type of mentality that prison back, especially back then, would give you. All that about going in, talking about getting rehabilitated, and that's one of the biggest lies has ever been told. You know what I'm saying? About how much, because you locked away, it's gonna rehabilitate you. Have I seen it happen? Yeah, I've seen it happen before. Is it an unwritten rule? No. Is it written in stone? No. Because the majority of people that go to jail, whether it's juvenile hall, YA, county jail, prison, or what, the majority of people come out worser than what they were when they went in. Way worser than what they were when they went in, man. Way worse. I know I was. You learn, it breeds hate. You learn to hate people. You learn all type of stuff. But now you learn how to be manipulative. All of that. You know what I'm saying? But some people get smarter or whatever, and you just know how to work the system. You really learn how to work the system. So when you in there and you learned all this stuff, and you constantly learning all this stuff, you constantly have people around you drilling this type of mentality into your head. Eventually it's gonna seep in, it's gonna take hold, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of us, whether black, white, brown, green, red, yellow, no matter what, come home from prison with a certain type mentality that they picked up while they in prison, and they bring that mentality home with them. And believe you me, take it from me. Take it, if you don't take it from nobody else. The hatred and dislike and stuff I had in my heart for different people that I learned in prison, it took me some years to get that up out of me. Some years to get it up out of me, man. And it had never had a chance to get up out of me before, because I would get out and I would only be out on the street a hot second. Then I'll go back into that same type of environment and continue to do the stuff I was doing, learn the stuff I was learning, and perpetrate the acts that I was perpetrating. So that's what it was. But now since I've been out this time, I've been able to like detox. I've been able to, basically um, clear my mind of all the foolishness that I've learned over the years. Learned to clear. Man, I just seen a whole squirrel jump from the tip top of a tree and float down and land on my roof of my garage. I wish I had my little pellet gun. Foul. But anyway, yeah. But it was stuff like that. I remember a time, man. I remember a time when something had took place. We had got into it on the yard. Blacks and Mexicans had got into it on the yard, man. And that's an everyday. This was a normal occurrence in prison. You're gonna get into it. Blacks and Mexicans gonna get into it. Blacks and whites gonna get into it. Blacks gonna get into it with some of everybody eventually. It is what it is. It was what it was. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Or see. But anyway, so we didn't. Here it is. We didn't got into it, and we on lockdown. We on lockdown as usual. I would see people cry about being on lockdown in different prisons in different states. Like when I was in Alabama, they go lockdown for one day and scream murder. Be whining and crying about a 1 day lockdown. I used to just shake my head, man. I'm like, boy, look at they would not want to. They don't want to see time in a California prison because they don't know nothing about lockdown starting out at 2 weeks, a month. You know what I'm saying? You get nothing. You ain't coming out. Getting fed in your cell. They don't know nothing about that, man. They don't know that. Anyway. But anyway, so we was locked down, and how things work in California prison, once you've been on lockdown because you done got into an altercation with another race after you've been locked down for a second, the police will kind of bring you to the round table. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to set up a meeting. And that's what they had did with us. And at this time, we were the blacks was on the yard. We would take turns. We'd go out, then they would go out. We'd go out, then they would go out. And we was on the yard at the time. And word it came around about a round table meeting that we was gonna have. I remember they was gonna hold it in the chapel. And this was in Pelican Bay too. So when I got word of it, I'm like, oh, this is my chance right here. So I go to the powers that be that were over me at the time, and I told them, I say, cuz, let me go to that meeting. They were like, what? I said, man, let me go to the meeting. They looking at me. No, for what, June? I say, cuz, I kept it real to him. I said, cuz, look, man, I'm gonna go to the meeting. When I get up in the meeting, I'm gonna take off. You know what I'm saying? Take my knife in the meeting, boom, and I'm gonna take off. That's how they used to do us. So I'm like, sure, I'm returning the favor. They didn't want it though, man. They didn't want it. They were at the time, the two individuals that I was speaking on, I believe they were suffering from what I call tired of being on lockdown, ready to come out. And that's what that was, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we would have shown up, stayed on lockdown, even further. We wouldn't have been able to coming out like that. It'd have been, it'd have been on. Ooh, boy, it'd have been on. But they wouldn't let me go, y'all. They wouldn't give me permission. They wouldn't. They was like, no, Tune, stand down on that one, man. Let that go. Yeah, stand up, let that go. Don't do it. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, man, I was upset about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was wild, man. I really wanted to do something. So they was like, nope. And I was like, man, you know what? Make a long story short, I got with another dude. Was it that day or the next day? I think it was the next day. Got with another dude, and he was a blood too. But when we came out on the unlock, took off. We took off. But look, in hindsight, man, it's so many stories and so many things that happen in prison, man, that regular people, I was gonna say normal people, but people that have lived a different life, from a different lifestyle, from a different culture, they'll look at it and be like, man, them dudes crazy in there, man. Man, y'all wild, man. This is what y'all doing. But when you sitting in there, homie, it becomes the norm. It's the norm. Ain't nothing fancy about it. Ain't nothing jiggy about it. Ain't nothing extracurricular about it. It's the norm. It's what we do. Prison breeds hate. Prison breeds um, contempt. Prison will turn you into a robot. Where you just hit the switch, click, and you go on automatic. Just go. Just you know? And that's what it is. And that type of mentality, once it gets in you, once it seeps in you, it just don't come out overnight, man. It got to work itself out. You got to be around people. You got to be around different situations, different cultures, different things for that foolishness to get all the way back up out of you. It seeps out of you. Yeah, it'll seep up out of you. But it just don't seep out of you just like that. You got to work that mess up out you, man. But anyway, man, that's one of the things I can say about me since I've been out. I have got the majority of that foolishness up out me. You know what I'm saying? The paranoidism, basically the prison PTSD, paranoid, not wanting to be around people. You know what I'm saying? All the windows got to be locked. All the doors got to be locked. You know what I'm saying? You walking through the house, checking windows, checking doors, checking lights, checking bedrooms. You know what I'm saying? All type of crazy stuff. Thinking people following you in your car. People looking at you at a restaurant. All that hookup. The whole thing. Just your everyday speech. You slipping up, and you instead of saying, "Baby, it's in the other room," you'll say some crazy, "Baby, that's in the other cell." Showering with your underwear on. Just, what I'm saying? Eating like it ain't no tomorrow, like somebody finna come take your food. Just doing that type stuff, man. Oh, man. But once you get that mess up out you, homie, you can say, man, good, man. But anyway, this is a message, man. Like, I'm sending this message to you youngsters, homie. I'm sending this message to you youngsters, man. When you go behind them walls, you going, especially in Cali, man, but in every state though, when you go behind them walls, man, you going into a situation that if you not on your P's and Q's, or as we say in the set, on your C's and Q's, you ain't gonna come home, man. It's not gonna come home. Prison can get serious at the drop of a dime. I don't care how much fun your partner got out, told you he was having, and playing and janking and kicking it and capping and bagging and whatever he was doing while he was up in there, or whatever he telling you he was doing. You could best believe it's a whole nother side of that he's not telling you about. He's not telling you about how many people tried to hurt him. He's not telling you about how many times he got his stuff took. He's not telling you about how many times he's been maced, kicked in the behind, how many rides, how many fights, stabbings, all that he been in, or if he was just a straight up coward anyway, how many times he was persecuted, picked on, and transgressed again in a real way. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know what I mean. He ain't telling you that part. It's always two sides to the story, homie. It's always two sides. It's always gonna be, well, really, it's always three sides. It's going to be his story, and then it's going to be the truth. Three sides to every story, homie. Anyway, man, in the meantime, between time, man, tell the people you love them. And I'm Cartoon 5-3, homie, and I represent the gangsters, the Avalon gangsters. I'm out. Peace. When I fall, then you pop. Don't nobody drop, you better put into the block. Then fuck the cops, you better squeeze until it's empty. I put that on 50, she's with it, how you hit me? A-gang, swing gang, what it looks at. 5-3, yeah, third that. 4-8, 8-8, 11-6. So when you slide down the 8, you're getting clapped at. Heads up into my days up, say